Hi, you're watching SheRocks College Live. I'm Clarissa, and this is a live show that goes down every Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern, where we help adult college women step into their worth, stop feeling like they're not enough so that they can get out of their own way, earn better grades, and fully enjoy the life that they created alongside of college. And today we're going to be talking about how to use manifestation and the law of attraction to achieve anything you want in college. And so let's go ahead and just dive right into the intro of the show. Okay, so if you've ever heard of the law of attraction or manifestation, you might have a very specific description or idea of what law of attraction and manifestation is all about. But what you need to know in particular to follow along with this show is that I am a super practical Virgo, which means that I believe in all the spiritual woo magic stuff, but I come at it from a very scientific perspective because everything that you've learned about the law of attraction and manifestation is actually based in science. It's based in psychology, it's based in neuroscience, it's based in quantum physics, all which are physical sciences that we study in the world. And when I first learned about the law of attraction, it was in, I think, like 2011, 2012. I was maybe 21, 22, or 23 around there. So I've been studying and practicing manifestation and the law of attraction for about 9 years. And I first learned about it from The Secret. And I think that's where most people learn about the law of attraction, if not from Oprah, or they learn about the concept because of how popular vision boards are. And if you understand what law of attraction is from The Secret, the book The Secret, it can seem very surface level and it can seem like it's a very magical, woo-woo, hocus pocus type of a topic. It can seem like mumbo jumbo because the way that The Secret describes the law of attraction, it makes it seem like all you have to do is think positive thoughts, avoid negative thoughts, and all of a sudden, poof, right in front of you, you will have this amazing, beautiful life with all of the things it is that you want. And my viewpoint on the law of attraction and on manifestation is that it is less about trying to conjure and create magic and all of this like woo-woo stuff. And it is more about being a deliberate creator of your life. So I tend to view the law of attraction and manifestation as a life creation process. It is a creation process. It is no different than you setting a goal and going after that goal. The difference is that with law of attraction and manifestation, instead of just focus on taking action and continuing to take action over and over, you are conscious of the fact that your subconscious beliefs, so the programming that you have running in your subconscious mind that you might not be aware of, and your emotions play a role in what it is that you are experiencing in your life. So I want to first talk about what the law of attraction is and what it states. So based off of how Abraham Hicks talks about law of attraction and The Secret talks about law of attraction, and even Oprah, the law of attraction states that which too is like itself will draw other things that it's like it to it. So it is positive thoughts will attract positive thoughts, negative thoughts will attract negative thoughts and negative experiences. So the premise behind law of attraction is that your thoughts become things. Your thoughts create your life. That's the premise behind law of attraction. So that's the definition of it. The definition of manifestation, if we look at what the actual word means, it's less of something that you do. So you don't manifest. Manifestation is more so something that you experience. So when you look at the etymology of the word manifestation, meaning the origin of the word, I looked up two. There was a French version and then there was a Latin version. So manifest comes from the Latin root word of manifestus, which means apprehensible, i.e. perceived. And in the French term, when they use the word manifest, it just means evident or palpable, meaning something can be touched or felt. So when people talk about manifestation, even though it sounds like what they're doing is like conjuring and like creating magic in their life, they think of something and all of a sudden it appears in their life. What they're really talking about is that they decided that they wanted something in their life. They went about deliberately creating it in their life, and now their perception, their reality is reflecting to them the thing it is that they said that they wanted. So the way that I approach law of attraction is from the viewpoint and from the thought that law of attraction and manifestation is really me deliberately creating what it is that I want to experience and have in my life. So in other words, in a very practical sense, it's really just a goal setting process. It's really you intentionally getting clear about what it is that you want, going about the steps of actually achieving that thing, that goal, that choice that you're making to create this thing in your life, and understanding that in order for it to be a part of your reality, in order for you to perceive it on a daily basis, what it's going to require is not only that you take action to make that thing appear in your life, but you also have to understand that on a very primitive quantum level, there are energetic principles at play that also affect your perception and what you're seeing in the world. And one of the things that we have to understand, and this comes from, if you've ever read the books, I'm forgetting the title right now, but it's the 4 Laws, the book about the 4 Laws. One of them is to not take anything personal, because everybody is just showing up in their life based off of their perception of the world, based off of what it is that they're perceiving. No one person at any given time is experiencing or seeing the same thing as someone else. And this is really important for you to understand, especially if you're someone who's really intrigued and interested in law of attraction and manifestation. And it is something that kind of goes above your head because you can't fathom how this applies on a practical level. And I am going to be talking about shortly the process of actually using the law of attraction and manifestation in a very practical way. So make sure that you stick around for that, because it's going to be laid out 7 steps for you so that you can really dive in. But it's really important that you understand that law of attraction just states that your thoughts become things. The things that you think about, that you desire, and that you want will show up in your life. But what is missing in the way that the law of attraction is being taught today is that it's not as simple as you thinking something and it automatically appearing in your life. There is a space period that exists between when you declare something that you want it, you have the thought about it, you have the desire about it, and when that thing actually shows up in your life. And so what is happening in that space? What is happening in that time period from when you're declaring what it is that you want to when it's actually showing up in your life? What is happening are the other steps that I'm going to be talking about today. And Manifestation, again, when we look at the root word, it's about something being perceived. And inside of our brain, we have a section that's called the thalamus. And in that thalamus section, I can't remember if it's directly in it or if it's just connected to the thalamus, there is something called the reticular activating system. It is a filtering system in our brain. And the reason why we have it is so that we don't go crazy. It basically will we receive billions of bytes of information on a second by second basis, but our brain will only show a very small percentage of those sensations, of all of the input that we're receiving, so that we can focus on the things that actually matter. It's why, we have so many different processes, physiological processes that are happening in the body right now. Like, there's so much happening to make your heart pump. There's so much happening to digest your food. There's so much happening on a cellular level, but we are not consciously aware that those things are happening. Can you imagine how overwhelmed we would be right now if we were conscious of every little action that ourselves were taking in our body, of every little action that it takes for me to move my fingers right now? It would be too overwhelming that we wouldn't be able to function as humans. And because of this, our creator put inside of our brain something called the reticular activating system, which helps to filter out what we pay attention to at any given moment. So we're receiving billions of bytes of information constantly, but we're only aware, our conscious mind is only aware of a very small percentage of that. And so that small percentage that our brain is filtering to us, we actually can manipulate, meaning that what we consider to be important based off of our values, based off of our belief systems, based off of, what we've been told is important, all that stuff is what our brain will actually show us. So if you're somebody that believes that all Christians are good and amazing, then your brain is only going to show you Christians that are good and amazing, and you won't be able to see Christians that aren't good and that aren't amazing. If you're someone that believes that the world is only made up of curly head people, then what's going to happen is that your reticular activating system is going to show you a bunch of curly head people. And what I mean when I say show you, it's not like it's going to pop into your sphere all these curly head people. What it means is that your brain is now going to be more attuned to a curly head person. So when you're out in public going about your day, because you believe the world is mainly made up of curly head people, you're going to automatically notice a curly head person over someone that has straight hair, because your reticular activating system will make you more conscious and aware of things that coincide with your belief systems. And that is what happens when people talk about manifestation. It is that their belief systems about what they want and what they can have, their reticular activating system is filtering that so that becomes their reality. So they're now paying more attention to the things that align with the things it is that they want, which is why it appears like it's magic and like it's just showing up in their life. But what is really happening is that there is a change in perception that they were able to manipulate and control based off of what they focused on, based off of the thoughts that they were creating in their mind, based off of the new belief systems and the new values that they were installing into their subconscious brain. So all of that to say that manifestation and law of attraction really isn't about magic, and it's more so about you deliberately creating what it is that you want to achieve in your life. And it's as simple as the goal setting process. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to walk you through how you can use the law of attraction and manifestation to achieve anything you want in college. So the very first step for creating anything that you want, and this is the very first step whenever people talk about goals, it's clarity. You have to Be specific about what it is that you want, which I think we do a very poor job as, especially as college students. We spend so much time complaining about what is wrong, so much time complaining about what we don't want to experience, so much time complaining about what we don't want and what we wish we could change, but we don't spend nearly the same amount of time vocalizing to ourselves and to the people around us what it is that we do want. And that is the most important step of manifestation and the law of attraction. You have to declare, choose what you want to create. So ask yourself today, pull out a pen and a paper and jot this out. What is it that I want to deliberately create in my life right now? And it doesn't have to be something crazy big. I'm not asking you to write down your life's purpose here. It could be as simple as wanting to create a habit, wanting to create certain grades, wanting to create a certain look in your body, wanting to create a certain relationship and how that relationship unfolds. The important part here in this step of clarity is that it be a choice, that it's something that you want to create, that you deliberately want to create. And it has to be written as though it's already happened. So you want to write it as though you are writing in the past tense. So I lost 30 pounds. I made it to the dean's list. It has to be written as though it's already happened. The reason why this is important is because our brain cannot tell the difference between reality and fantasy. So whatever you tell your brain, it is going to believe, especially if you have evidence and proof of that thing. So that is step number 1. What do you want to create? What do you want? Clarity is the first step. And again, if I want you to understand like how similar law of attraction is to the goal setting process. When people teach you about goals, the first thing that they ask you is, what do you want? Well, what are you trying to achieve? What is your goal? What is your outcome? It's the same thing. What do you want? And if you don't know what you want, start by making a list of the things that you don't want, the things that you want to change, the things that you wish were different in your life, because that's going to give you contrast. It's a list of something that you can use, and all you have to do to create what you want is write the opposite of that. And that's your want list. The second step in law of attraction and in the creation process, I really like that term more than law of attraction because that's really what law of attraction is. It's a deliberate creation of your life. You're deciding what you want and you're going after it like there is no tomorrow. So similar to goal setting. So the second step is to envision or visualize how this thing that you're wanting to create is going to feel for you. What are you going to see when it is achieved? What are you going to hear when it's achieved? What are you going to say when it's achieved? What emotion are you going to feel in your body when it's achieved? And this is really the why behind your goal. So whenever we are wanting something, desiring something, usually it's not the thing that we're desiring. So for example, if I really want this pen, it's not because I want this pen. It's because I want the emotional attachment that's going to come to this pen. I want to feel good about my handwriting, and this pen helps me to write really pretty because of how the ink flows out. And it makes me feel good for people to see my handwriting and for them to say, wow, you have really neat handwriting. So whenever we desire or want something, it's not usually that thing that we want. It's the feeling and the emotion attached, or our perception of how we're going to feel when we have that thing. So it's really important that after you've declared and chosen and gotten clear about what it is that you deliberately want to create, that you sit down and you really think about why you want this thing. Why do you want it? How are you going to feel when you have it? How is that going to look? What are you going to hear people saying about you when you have it? What are you going to be saying to yourself when you have it? What's going to be happening around you? What are you going to be smelling? What is it going to taste like? And really get into it. The reason why people talk about vision boards and visualization and things like that is because our brain thinks in pictures. Our human brain thinks in pictures. And it's really easy for us to create an emotion when we can visualize and see the things it is that we want. So the reason why people talk about visualization being so important is because it helps to evoke emotion. And emotion is just energy in motion in the body. And if you're familiar with the way that law of attraction is taught, either by Abraham Hicks or by The Secret, you'll understand that at a very basic level, the quantum level, this entire world is made up of energy. That's all it is. Whatever our creator is, whatever you consider to be God, it's life force. It is energy. Our whole body is made out of energy. And in order for law of attraction to work, you can't just think positive thoughts. Really what is happening is that those thoughts are evoking an emotion in you. And that is the energy that is helping you to show up and to take action. So this is why the visualization process is so important, is because it helps you to create and generate the emotion that you're going to feel when that thing is happening and occurring and is achieved in your life. So step 1 is to get really clear about what you want to create. Step 2 is to visualize what it's going to look like, feel like, taste like, hear like, all of that, the emotion behind it, and to create that emotion in your body through visualization. The third step of the manifestation and law of attraction creation process is besides declaring what you want, this step is probably the most important. And this step is called acceptance. This step is all about whether or not you believe that you can actually receive and accept the thing it is that you're trying to create in your life. This is where that subconscious brain comes in that I talked about. This is where our belief systems and the stories we have about what it is and isn't possible for us can either repel what it is that we're trying to create or attract what it is that we were trying to create to us. You will never receive, you will never be able to create, you will never be able to achieve anything in your life that you do not believe that you can actually achieve. Saying you want something is very different than believing you can have it. Saying that you want something is very, very, very different than believing that you can have it. If you cannot accept that what the goal that you're going after is possible for you, you will never be able to achieve it. This is why it's so important that you understand the belief systems that are really driving the show in your life. Because I promise you that the moment you start writing down what it is that you want and you get really clear about it, the moment that you start envisioning what it's going to feel like, what it's going to look like, the people that are going to be around you when it's happening, what people are going to say about you, automatically, without you even inviting it to the party, you're going to start having these thoughts about why you can't have it, why you shouldn't want that, why it makes you a bad person to even write these things down. And all of these things are belief systems. They are thoughts that are going to repel what it is that you're trying to attract in your life. And so with this step, the step of acceptance, it's about becoming conscious and aware of the belief systems that are repelling your ability to achieve what it is that you're trying to achieve in your life. And in next week's video, I'm going to dive deeper into why it's really important that you begin to reprogram your subconscious mind and your subconscious beliefs and your subconscious stories as a student if you truly want to see success not only in college, but way beyond it. Because again, this is a creation process that doesn't just apply to grades, but this is how you create anything that you want in your life. But I promise you that you will never be able to achieve what you're working so hard for if you don't believe that you can have it, if you don't believe that you are worthy of it, if you cannot accept this positive, amazing thing is meant for you. And all you have to do is notice and listen, because at the moment you start writing your want list, the moment you start visualizing it, you'll start hearing these thoughts and these belief systems that are repelling what it is that you want from your life. So that is step number 3 is acceptance and doing the acceptance work. Step number 4 is focus. So what is going to happen the moment you get excited about creating all these things is you're going to have all these thoughts show up in your life telling you why you can't have these things, why you're not worthy of it, why it's bad to want it, why it will never work for you, why Sally can have it but you can't. And you're going to start to feel demotivated. You are going to start to feel like it's not possible for you. Step number 4 is about focusing on what you want and why you can have it every single day. It's about building resilience and practicing reminding yourself of what it is that you want, why you want it, and generating the emotion of what it's going to feel like when you have it. And it's doing it on a daily basis, not letting it really go away. And this is where a habit tracking is really important in the goal setting process, because what habit tracking does is it keeps your goal top of mind. It helps you to see how you're making progress. It keeps you focused on the end game, even when it appears that things are not going the way that you plan. And I'm going to talk a little bit about something at the end that I didn't even realize that I had created because I've been doing and using law of attraction and manifestation for so long. So step number 4 is focus. Step number 5 is utilizing your intuition. This is really all about self-trust. This is about tapping into yourself and being open to the possibility. So here's the beautiful thing about the RAS system is that when you're not aware that it exists, you're not noticing that your subconscious beliefs are creating your perception and what you're experiencing in your physical world. Once you understand and know that the reticular activating system exists, this is when you can use it to your advantage, i.e. law of attraction and manifestation. And what is going to happen when you start focusing deliberately on what it is that you want, and you stop focusing on what it is that you don't want, because if you focus on what you don't want, you're going to get more of what you don't want, because that's what your reticular activating system is going to show you. So if you keep your attention on your creation, on what it is that you're creating, your reticular activating system is going to make you more aware of opportunities, people, videos, podcasts, situations. Literally, books will fall off the shelf and hit you in the face. of things that will help you to make achieving your goal inevitable. Your reticular activating system will almost like perk up your ears and perk up your eyes to the things that were in your reality all along, that were in your sphere all along, that you couldn't see because prior to it, you weren't focusing on deliberately creating. But once you start focusing on deliberately creating, now this wakes up that part of your brain that is thinking about your goal all the time, and you're seeing all of these opportunities come in, and it feels like it's your intuition speaking to you. It feels like, wow, God is putting this in front of me. It feels like a little whisper. And it's your job to trust yourself to take the action when those things show up, to jump on the opportunity when it comes up, to read the book when it falls off the shelf, to reach out to that mentor on Instagram who is talking about the very thing it is that you want to create. And that self-trust, you knowing when it's actually meant for you, comes down to you listening, getting quiet, and feeling what a yes and an and this is meant for me feels like in your body, and noticing what a no, not the right time, not the right person feels like in your body. We are so busy and so stressed all the time that we're really disconnected from our intuition. We're disconnected from our bodies, and we are all like so stressed. Like our nervous system is so stressed all of the time. And when your nervous system is so amplified like that, you can't focus on anything but survival. All of the guidance that you want to receive, all of the inner knowing it is that you want, can't reach you when you're in such a high stress state, which is why all the successful gurus talk about meditation and exercise and yoga. And the reason why is because, and giving up coffee, it's because those things help to bring down your nervous system. They take you out of fight or flight response, which allows you to access the prefrontal cortex of your brain, which is a part of your brain that is seeking for enlightenment. It's the part of your brain that wants the best for you. It's the part of your brain that wants self-actualization. And when you can get to that point where your nervous system is calmed down, you can see what was there for you all along. You're not missing opportunities anymore. You're not feeling like the right you're never surrounded by the right or wrong people, because you're using the reticular activating system to your advantage, and you're calming your nervous system down in a way where now you can become more aware of it, and you can hear in your intuition what your next steps are going to be. Which brings me to step number 6 of the manifestation and the law of attraction process, which is action. So the thing that got me really hung up on law of attraction, and why I kind of steered away from it for a little bit, and I would get so angry when I would hear people talk about it, is because the way that a lot of people on Instagram and even here on YouTube, or like books that I've read on law of attraction, make it seem like all you have to do is lay in bed, visualize the mansion that you want, visualize the convertible that you want, visualize the dream job that you want, and eat bonbons all day in your bed, and that it's not going to require you to go out and actually look for houses, to jump on Zillow and look for houses, that it's not going to require you to get a real estate agent, that it's not going to require you to complete your resume and send it out to a bunch of jobs, that it's not going to require you for you to go to the car dealership and start looking for cars and actually purchase the car. You cannot just create with your thoughts. What is happening when people say what you bring about what you think about, and when people talk about thoughts becoming things, really what is happening on the energetic level is that you are focusing on what it is that you want. Your reticular activating system is going to work. You are in a very high emotional state about like what is possible for you. And so in that state, you're more likely to take the actions it is that you need to take in order to make it happen. If you're struggling with getting yourself to do things, with getting yourself to get things done, with doing your to-do list, instead of going out and purchasing another planner, instead of going out and watching another YouTube video on how to be more productive, look into your subconscious brain, look into neuroscience, look into how cognitive behavioral psychology, because all of those things talk about how important it is that we direct our thoughts, because we act based off of how we feel. And what creates emotions for us are our thoughts that we're having about the situations that are happening in our life. Our thoughts create our feelings, and we act based off of how we feel. So action is the sixth step, because if you are not in the right mental, emotional, spiritual state, if you're not focusing on your goals, if you're not aligning with that vision on an emotional level where you feel excited about taking action to make it happen, nothing that you do is ever going to work. And it might work in the long run, but it's going to feel like effort. It's going to feel like a struggle. It's going to feel like you're doing thing after thing after thing after thing, and nothing's ever working, and everything is always really hard for you. And the reason why it feels that way is because you didn't mentally and emotionally align yourself and get yourself into a peak state, is what Tony Robbins says. Get yourself into a higher feeling state is what Abraham Hicks says, where you are so excited about the possibility of what you can create in your life that you want to go out and do these actions and read your textbook and reach out to your professor and go to tutoring and do all these things. The emotion and the thoughts have to come first. Once you're in that space, the action is the next step that's going to follow, and it's going to feel like ease, and it's going to feel like flow. And these are the students that like are always so happy all the time, and like it doesn't seem like they're ever stressed. And it's because they are probably managing their emotions, their reticular activating system, their thoughts, so that they are aligned with the lifestyle it is that they want to lead as college students. And then the final step in the manifestation and the law of attraction process is when you actually manifest what it is that you want. So it comes into your world. It's tangible. It's palpable. You're perceiving it. You're seeing it be possible on a daily basis, i.e. you have the result it is that you want, i.e. you've created the thing that you stated that you want to create. And this is not an overnight process. And the reason why it's not an overnight process is because of step 3 that I talked about, that it's acceptance piece. Because if you don't believe that you can have what it is that you're trying to create, if you don't believe that you're worthy of it, if you don't believe that you're capable of it, if you don't believe and if you can accept that it is possible for you, then that's when it feels really long, because you need to really start reprogramming those subconscious beliefs. And like I said, in next week's video back here Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to talk about why it's so important to reprogram your subconscious mind and your subconscious beliefs and your subconscious stories as a college student if you want to achieve everything it is that you want, and you want it to feel fun and enjoyable and easy. I shouldn't say easy. Easeful along the way. So that is it. That is how you manifest anything you want to achieve in college through the law of attraction. Now, something that I mentioned earlier, so this past, if you guys have any questions about this, by the way, you can pop them in the chat. That's why I do these videos live, is because I want to interact with you. So if you're watching, say hello, drop in any questions that you have. I will answer them at the end. But last weekend I was at a coffee shop with my brother's girlfriend, and she's a photographer, so she's going to help me take some pictures of the planner that I created for Black Friday, the college productivity kit, and she was flipping through the planner, and we were talking about, what makes the planner so different than all the other planners on the market. And as I'm going through the planner, and I have the fact that I'm going to be filming this video in the back of my mind, so I met with her on Saturday, and I'm like thinking about work stuff, like stuff for the company, SheRocks College, and I'm thinking about this law of attraction video that I was going to be filming for you guys live today. And I realized that the entire 7-step process that I just went over of manifestation is built into this planner. And I unintentionally did that. I didn't even realize that I built in this 7-step process into the planner. Like, the clarity step is all in the goal setting. So I ask you to literally create your college vision, to tell me what it's going to feel like, what it's going to look like on a daily basis for everything it is that you want. I ask you to get really clear about creating your perfect semester, and I give you prompts in order to help you to do that. Again, I did this unconsciously, but the whole premise behind this planner is to help you to have your best semester yet. It's actually on the sticker that we send out with the packaging on the planner, and it's because what I'm doing is helping college students to redefine what it means to be smart, redefine what it means to be a good student, redefine what it means to be brilliant and successful, and to deliberately create the academic experience it is that they want. I want you to fully experience the life that you create alongside college. I do not believe, I do not have the value that college is the one and most important thing in your life. I believe that you, as a human being, come first. It just happens to be that your soul in this time period is also enrolled in college. That is, in this season, you're also enrolled in college, but you are first and foremost a human being first. And that always has to come first, because without you, there's no college degree. Without you, there isn't any studying. And if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're not being deliberate about how you want to be and feel and experience this amazing life that we've been gifted with, what is the point of it all? Life is supposed to be fun. Life is supposed to be a game. It's supposed to be exciting. We came here to experience a multitude of different things. That includes good things and bad things, because without the bad, we wouldn't know what good is. It's just like a fish doesn't realize that it's in water until you take it out of it. We need the contrast to be able to really appreciate, I think, what it is that we have going for us. And so I just think it's super funny because the clarity process is in here, step, the vision step, the acceptance and the belief system is in here. The focus is in here because what we have built into the planner are these academic scorecards that keeps your goal and what you're trying to achieve top of mind every single month. And every day you're looking at this page because you're tracking to see the habits that you're creating for yourself to help you keep that goal top of mind and make it achievable. The action steps are in here because in the back of the planner we have all of these cheat sheets and checklists to help you to study and build out your study routine. In the back of the planner. And if you use it and if you're consistent with it, it is inevitable that what you're going to start seeing in your world, what you're going to start manifesting, right? Because again, manifestation is perception. It's taking things from thought and having your brain display it to you in your reality. That's what's going to happen, is you're going to manifest everything that you want. So the college productivity kit, like I said, is the planner that I created. It comes in 2 colors, this black color, and it also comes in a teal. And if you click the link down below, you will see the link to purchase that if you're interested. But that's all I have for you today. I'm going to pop over to see if anyone has any questions. I see Maria Elise here. Hello, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me live. I will see you all next Thursday, where the topic is going to be why it's important to reprogram your subconscious beliefs and stories as a college student to achieve everything it is that you want. I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday, and I hope this video was helpful. Bye.